What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another unboxing video brought to you by Bearded Kaiju's Unboxing Reviews. If you guys like the channel, hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, share with anybody you think like the content of this channel. Also, hit that bell notification so you're notified right away when videos drop like this one. And you definitely should, because today we have a doozy. Holy buckets, man. It is a big chungus to a T, and I'm really excited about this one. Man, oh man, I never thought the day would come that we were ever going to get something like this released, and honestly, it's kind of a dream come true. I'll get into that a little bit later into the review, but yeah, I'm trying something new, switching around the camera, trying to get better quality because I want to put out the best quality for you guys and to appease my personal anxiety and just OCD-ness, honestly, because I always want the best quality possible when I do my reviews. So I do anything a little bit differently, trying to do it in 4K. Hopefully it all works out and you guys love it. I have my little microphone on my shirt here, so hopefully all the sound is good. So just trying to amp it up for everyone and everybody who tunes in and watches my reviews. So doing the best I can. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. But yeah, today it is a tremendous box day, and I cannot wait to get into it. So let's stop talking about it. Let's get into today's unboxing. All right, so you guys can see this is what we're talking about. Like I said, never thought this would be possible. Big chungus. Oh my goodness gracious. So yeah, we are going to be talking about the X-plus 30 centimeter BAGAN. Now, let me repeat that. X-plus 30 centimeter BAGAN. Never would have thought to see the light of day, honestly. Me personally, this is a dream. This has a lot of sentimental value to me because I played the game back in the day when I was a kid and always wondered about this particular kaiju, and would we ever see him in a film, in a comic book, in some kind of property pertaining to Godzilla, that we would actually see him fight up against the King of the Monsters. So it's super crazy, and I'm super excited to really kind of get to show this off and talk about this with everybody here, because this is crazy. Absolutely nuts. But yeah, this is the box for him. As you can see, it's massive. This is basically like a gigantic size box. He is just huge. He is thick on all sides, and this box just screamed like, holy cow. But it got the treatment of, like, say, a gigantic X-plus. Didn't get any colorful photos. They just went with the black print on a box and just kind of went that route. It sucks because it is a 30 centimeter line, and usually we get the colored photos of the actual figure on the box, but I think just because this guy is so massive, they just kind of went the easier route with that. So it's okay. It is what it is, and I'm okay with it. I'm just more excited to get the figure and see what the figure is. So with the box, as you can see, I'll lift him up a little bit. In Japanese, it says X-plus 30 centimeter series BAGAN, and then over here on the bottom, it actually says it is from the Gojiban YouTube channel show that Toho puts on. Every once in a while they'll drop episodes with their little puppet monsters. It's an ongoing series right now that's a lot of fun, focused towards kids and trying to get the younger generation hooked on Godzilla, which is great. My only honestly negative thing about it is that we don't get subtitles or English dubs for it, so we don't know what they're saying. It is strictly for the Japanese audience, so we don't know what's going on. So it kind of sucks. So you have to kind of decipher what's going on with the visuals that they show. But I would love to know what they're actually talking about. So other than that, that's what that is. And this is where BAGAN actually came from, was from that particular show. He finally got his screen time in a Godzilla property in a way that they made a huge puppet of Bagan, and they put it in the Goji Ban little show, and he was like the big bad that came and started terrorizing all the other characters in that particular show. So that's what this is from. This is where this design is from. So that's why it has it on the box. It's based off of that puppet and what it's made. And honestly, you know, where they got the ideas and obviously the details, the sketches, you know, all of that kind of stuff to kind of make this Bagan obviously is from all the other concept arts that have been done in the past. And they just made their own suit based on that and just kind of updated him, changed him around a little bit. Did some different things to kind of make him look and appear more for this particular show. So, but with that, enough talking about this box. Let's get into this figure because I cannot wait to see him. So let's go. All right, everybody, here he is. Just look at this thing. The size of him is just amazing, amazing. Oh my goodness gracious. Just, oh, I mean, for a 30 centimeter figure, this guy is just huge all over the place. And rightfully so. You know, if you know kind of the character, you know kind of his backstory, you know where he's from, everybody kind of knows that he is just massive. He is just huge. A huge kaiju. He dwarfed Godzilla, even Super Godzilla. I mean, he was way bigger than him. So, yeah, just absolutely crazy, insane. Everything about this is just awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Oh my goodness. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. But yes, let's get right into the review and let's talk about him a little bit. Like I said, you know, size is everything, honestly, but honestly, the detail is really well done. Like I said, this is based off of the puppet that we saw in the Goji Ban series. So it's kind of more dulled down to be more chibi-esque, softer, not as rigid as maybe like a suit accurate depiction of it. You know, they didn't go so rugged with all of the details, even though I'm not saying the details aren't there, because they are, but the overall look and appearance of him, I think they dulled down a little bit because of the show. So they made it more, I don't know if it's kid friendly, but softer overall than what they probably could have done. And that's fine because this is based off of that suit that they made. You know, you're gonna get that in this release. And that's okay, because finally, after many years, many so-called projects that he could have been in, that he was almost in, but never saw the light of day, and he finally, honestly, instead of becoming kind of like a myth or a legend that was talked about that never kind of got his screen time, finally, he got his screen time, even though it's in a puppet show. They're recognizing this character and bringing him to light and finally showing everybody, you know, what he looks like, what he can do, what kind of presence he has. Because, like I said, I think he's been greenlit for like 8 different projects, honestly. Going up against Godzilla, I mean, coming back, you know, from the hiatus, from the Showa to the Heisei, he was supposed to be the first villain that Godzilla fought, but it ended up being Return of Godzilla and Godzilla 1985. So that was that one. Then he could have fought in, Mothra in the Rebirth of Mothra series, but they went a different route and they went with Death Ghidorah in the first one. And then there was other projects that they wanted to do with him, but just never just got, it seemed to be the voting or the favoritism of the people that were in charge, honestly, of making the call to bring him to light. I don't really know why. It just kind of is. And in even the end of the Heisei, instead of Destroya, we were supposed to get Bagan, and that would have been really something. I mean, what oh my goodness, like nothing against Destroya. He's a great kaiju. The design is pretty cool, but man, I would have preferred Bagan over Destroya. He's just as big, as bulky as Destroya. It's probably why the design of Destroya is very similar to Bagan, because he's very big, bulky, just very menacing, overpowering. You know, Destroya was going up against Godzilla's, I mean, by far the most powerful version of himself. I think some can say now that it could be Evolved Godzilla, but you're always going to have those debates and everything. That's what's fun about the fandom. So, but yeah, just so many different projects that he could have came in, and he just never saw the light of day. And I'm glad finally that he's basically canon, that he is part of the Godzilla universe now instead of just talks. He actually is part of it now, which is really, really great. I love that. There's been different concept arts, different designs of this particular kaiju. He's gone from possibly like a chimera and went from 3 stages and combined into one. Then he went to different kind of looks of this. He went from a beast form and then this form, just different iterations of him that they tried, and really tried to kind of get him on screen, try to get people to kind of be on the same boat, honestly, to put him on the film or screen time, but it just never happened. So it's a long time coming for this particular kaiju, and honestly for a figure like this, because he was originally debuted in the Super Nintendo game Super Godzilla, and he was the very end villain that Godzilla got to fight. So if you've never played that game, I highly recommend. It is a cult classic. He is a fan favorite. Like I said, I played it when I was a kid, and I just absolutely love it. And that's how I was introduced with him. And then his kind of secondary form of coming into like something Godzilla was that long time ago, they had a CD-ROM kind of game slash like tour. It was called the Godzilla movie tour CD-ROM, and you can kind of go around. It was kind of like a theme park, and in one of the areas there was like drawings, or you could make your own posters of a said Godzilla film that was coming out, and actually him and one other kaiju was in there that you could use for the poster art. And that was really cool. And that was my second introduction to him. That was really, really cool, but it was different from the video game version. They changed up his look, they changed up his color, all that kind of stuff. So the video game version and like say this version is very different in ways. A lot of it has to do with the coloring, the design. It's similar, but it's different in its own way. This is very similar to the Godzilla movie tour CD-ROM. This is a lot closer, but he was more of a white, grayish, pale version. This is kind of a more darker, like gold version of him. So, but this is very similar for his design and look to that particular version of him. So that was really cool, and that was cool to see that. And then finally, Bandai, the Movie Monster series 6-inch figures, they finally came out with a version of that movie tour Bagan in little vinyl form, which was really awesome. And that was his first official release in toy form, honestly, was that. And now X-Plus, the king of screen accurate, highly detailed figures, got him in their 30 centimeter line, and it's just so cool that they got him, and they were like, hey, maybe we should do this and put him out there in our line, because honestly, I keep seeing a lot of people talking about Bagan recently, and in the last couple of years, I think people are starting to kind of get on board with him. They want to see more of him, and rightfully so. I mean, he's talked about so much and revered as possibly one of the strongest kaiju ever. And, what could have been and what if versions of movies that he could have been in instead of other villains that were in there, fighting against Godzilla, fighting against Mothra. Who knows, so it's really, really cool to see that popularity start gaining for this particular kaiju, and that game in particular, Super Godzilla. So we're even getting a Super Godzilla Bandai figure to go along with the Bagan, which is really, really awesome. Really excited about that. So hopefully, in the future, X-Plus follows suit and actually gives us a release of a X-Plus Super Godzilla, because they did put him in the puppet series of Goji Ban. So who knows, or maybe just completely redo it and do a more stylized, maybe more realistic Super Godzilla, honestly, and I'll be down for that. So really, really cool. Very exciting time for Super Godzilla and that game, and all the lore that goes with it and the creatures that go with it as well. It's really, really cool, really exciting. So, but yeah, with this figure, as you can see, this thing is just absolutely massive, massive, massive. A lot of detail gone in with this. Like I said, even though it's based off of a puppet, they did their work on that puppet for sure, and they really captured it in this release. And it's stunning. It really, really is. I knew he was going to be big, but I didn't know he was going to be really this big. As you can see, there's like orbs going up his shoulder spike, which is really cool. Would have been really cool if it would have been a glow or a light up. That would have warranted a light up version of this guy. You could have gotten his eyes, could have gotten his shoulder orbs. That would have been really nice. Even the detail down his back, very ragged, jagged, and rugged. I love that. Just a lot of spikes going on in his tail. Just like I said, I would love to see this puppet. This puppet is very, very big. I think it's human size, actually, where people or an actor can actually be in it. That's how big it is, and it's absolutely amazing. I saw it on one of the streams for Godzilla Day, and very impressed with it. So they must have done like a 3D scan of this, like they've kind of been doing lately with some of their releases. And I mean, you might as well. I mean, basically you're capturing that suit in figure form and capturing it forever. So basically it'll never die, because now you have figures of those suits, and it's really special. And I wish they would have done that years and years ago, to kind of save some of the suits and shown how special they were in their detail and their look. Would have been really, really cool, because we always get an artist's interpretation of said suit or said design, so it's never the real exact thing. So that kind of technology is just ever growing, and it's advancing and really doing a lot for the collection and collector fandom, honestly. So, but yeah, this thing is just so cool. Like I said, I mean, the horn could have lit up, eyes could have lit up, shoulders could have lit up. I mean, it would have been a really, really great light up, honestly. And I'm not a big one for light ups, so I would have warranted to get this guy in a light up version. So, but yeah, he is super great. Detail is really, really nicely done. Like I said, this has to be from the suit itself. So I'm very, very impressed, very happy I got this. And actually, I didn't even get this on pre-order. I got this after, had to get on the secondary market. Luckily, I didn't have to pay too much more than what the retail was, but the shipping is what really got me. Like I said, this box is just absolutely massive. So that's what really killed me. But kind of it is what it is. With us US collectors and international collectors, you're just going to have to just pony up and pay that dough for the shipping, because it just doesn't seem like it's going to go away, and seems like it's going to get worse as we go on here. So sad for us, unfortunately. So, but yeah, let's do a couple size comparisons to kind of show you guys the sheer size and how big he really is. Then we'll get out of here. So, all right, guys, and here's the first size comparison I kind of wanted to show you. I wanted to get a 30 centimeter figure of a Godzilla to really compare him to the Bagan, which is 30 centimeter. And honestly, this is pretty close, I think. But you can still see that Bagan is still towering over the 30 centimeter Godzilla. Still the sheer girth and just mass of Bagan is just crazy. I mean, this Godzilla is no slouch. He's a big chunky boy too. But as you can see, it's no match with how big Bagan is. I'll get a side profile of him so you can see, you know, where he matches up. He's a little bit too big to me, the Godzilla is, because I think Bagan towered even more over Godzilla. But that's cool. That's fine. It's still really neat to see them side by side and really kind of get an aspect on what they would size up with each other, honestly. But I'll show one more size comparison. I think that'll fit a little bit better in what the size comparison really should be between Bagan and Godzilla. All right, and here's my second size comparison, and this is the Sakai 91. So, and this is even him kind of rearing back, but I think this is kind of a more appropriate size comparison. Like I said, Bagan did tower over Godzilla pretty considerably, so I wanted to see the difference between them, honestly, and because I was curious, because Bagan is 30 centimeters, which he's probably a small 30 centimeter, honestly. He could probably be a little bit bigger, but I'd say it's pretty close. But I'm not gonna fault that at all. So I absolutely do love it, but I do think that this size a lot better with the Godzilla and the Bagan. But yeah, just look at him. Just Bagan is just a monster compared to him, with just his body mass and how he looks and whatnot. So yeah, it's really cool. So it does size well with the Sakais, I think, and it's probably the closest, I think, for a size comparison that's most accurate as possible. So all right, guys, you know what time it is. It's time for my ranking / score for this figure. I've been doing it recently on my figure reviews and just kind of putting my own personal score on them. 10 is the best, 1 is the worst or lower. But everything so far has been up there, and this is no different, honestly. I am going to give this one a 9 out of 10. This thing is just crazy good. Just the sheer size. All the detail that they did put into this, even though it is based off of a puppet. The sculpt looks really good. The coloring looks really well. Just everything about it looks really good. I love that his eyes are kind of like a translucent orb to him. Same thing with the orbs in his shoulder spikes. It's kind of like that translucent vinyl that they painted and colored, and they probably did that with his eyes, but it looks like they glow, honestly. And honestly, like I said, they could honestly reissue this and do a light up version and do his eyes and his horn and his shoulders, and I think that'd be really cool. Honestly, it might even get me to buy it to double dip. So I think it's a realm of possibility, honestly, and I don't see why they wouldn't. But yeah, this figure is awesome, and like I said, 9 out of 10. Highly recommend. Just everything about it is just top notch, and it blew me away. And it was one of the releases that I got that I was really excited for. And you know, when that hits me, you know, they're gonna get kind of a boost. Trying to not to be biased and trying to really kind of nail down these designs and not give too crazy high rankings, but I gotta be honest, it's really well done. Just everything about it looks awesome. I really do hope in the future that they do another version of Bagan and actually we get the Super Godzilla design with, he's more of a brown, and honestly his face is kind of more of a bowl shape. And I really like that design, so I really do hope that if they do another release, maybe they'll hand sculpt it and get it more screen accurate and more from the Super Godzilla version instead of the Goji Band version. And honestly, I would buy both. I would love to have both in my collection because it's just a cool kaiju. It's cool that he's been a myth for so long and just something that they've talked about, and he's finally been realized, and he's part of the Godzilla fandom and the continuity and franchise, honestly. So really great to see that, and I love it. everything about it. So, but yeah, I think that's it from me. I think I've rambled enough on this figure. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this massive Big Chungus review. But yeah, it's been a fun one, and if you haven't picked this guy up, I highly recommend. He's just an awesome figure overall, so you ain't gonna be disappointed. The sheer size of him is crazy. So yeah, I think that's it for me. Thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think of Bagan. Do you like him overall as a kaiju? Do you not like him? I know there's kind of mixed feelings about him. I would love to know your feelings about Bagan. I love him personally, and I'm glad that we're getting more focus on him, honestly, as of late. And I love it because we're getting more merchandise about him as time goes on, because I think they're realizing that there is popularity, and there's people been clamoring for this kaiju for so long. So but yeah, leave comments in there. Just thank you. We're almost to 1,000 subscribers. I will be doing my next giveaway at 1,000 subscribers, so let's keep her going. I am giving away a free X-Plus Rick edition of the Cybot 84. I am giving away some Ichiban Kuji canvas prints, and then a friend of the show, Sergio Trejo, has graciously donated some effects that he has made, and they go well with articulated figures. 3 beam effects that he just willingly just donated to me. So thank you, Sergio. Means a lot. And just knowing that there is a fan of the show that was willing to give up something that he made for others to enjoy. So thank you. Also too, if you want more kaiju, tokusatsu, all of that kind of yummy goodness, check me out at Monsters with Attitudes. I am over there with a great group of guys that talk all things kaiju, and we even go into anime and wrestling and movies and just anything that kind of tickles our fancy. Honestly, we're going to talk about it. So check us out and me out over there. So with that, I'm out of here, guys. Thank you so much, and until next time, later.